The wind carried the scent of rain and gunpowder that evening, swirling through the dying light of the Arizona desert. The sun hung low behind the buttes, painting the sky in blood and amber. The land was quiet, but it was the kind of quiet that hides 1,000 ghosts. A single horse rode through that silence, its rider hunched and weary. His name was Thomas Granger, a soldier once proud, now hollow, wearing the uniform of a war he no longer believed in. He rode toward an old trading post long abandoned, the kind of place where lost men went to forget what they'd done. Smoke rose faintly from its chimney, and for a moment he thought it was just the wind playing tricks. But when he stepped inside, the flicker of firelight revealed her. She stood near the hearth, wrapped in a shawl the color of dusk, her long black hair braided with beads of turquoise and bone. The Apache girl turned slowly, her gaze steady, unreadable. "You came," she said quietly, her English touched with the rhythm of another world. "I told you I would," Thomas replied, removing his hat as if in the presence of something sacred. His voice cracked under the weight of everything he'd lost, brothers in arms, the meaning of the uniform he wore, and perhaps a piece of himself. For a moment they said nothing. Only the wind sighed through the cracks of the walls. It had been months since he first met her by the river where he was ordered to burn her village. He didn't fire that day. He couldn't. Instead, he found himself helping her hide from his own men. And in that silence between duty and mercy, something fragile had taken root. Now, sitting across from her at a rough wooden table, he poured water from his canteen and pushed it toward her. "You shouldn't have stayed here," he said softly. "The patrols are getting closer." Her dark eyes lifted to meet his. "You came anyway," she whispered. He smiled faintly, though his heart trembled. "I came because I had to see you again, because I'm tired of fighting ghosts I don't believe in anymore." The words hung in the air like confession. The fire crackled. She moved closer, her expression gentle but laced with sorrow. "You think you can save me from your people?" she asked. "No," he said. "Maybe I'm hoping you can save me from mine." She looked at him for a long time, the silence stretching between them until it became something deeper than words. Outside, thunder rolled across the sky, and rain began to fall, a rare mercy in the desert. It pattered softly on the roof, and for a moment the world felt clean again. Thomas stood and walked toward the door to watch the rain, but her voice stopped him. "Thomas," she said quietly, and when he turned, her face was caught in the firelight, both fierce and tender. "Do you ever wonder if peace is something a man like you can find?" He hesitated. "I stopped wondering a long time ago." She stepped closer, the firelight dancing in her eyes. "Then maybe you were never meant to fight alone." Before he could answer, a noise outside shattered the fragile calm. Hoofbeats, boots, voices. He froze. She did too. Her hand instinctively went to the knife at her waist. And then the door burst open. 3 soldiers rushed in, rain dripping from their hats, rifles drawn. Their leader barked, "Step away from her, Granger!" The moment held like glass, thin, trembling, ready to break. Thomas raised his hands slowly. "She's not what you think," he said. But the captain snarled, "She's Apache. That's all I need to know." The girl's breath came quick, but her voice was calm. "I assumed we were going to be alone," she said softly, her tone steady as steel. One soldier flinched at her courage. The others tightened their grip on their rifles. Thomas looked from her to them, then back again. He could see the fear in her eyes, the defiance in hers, mirroring his own guilt. "Lower your guns," he ordered, his voice breaking. "She's under my protection." The captain laughed bitterly. "Your protection? You've lost your damn mind, Granger." Maybe he had. Maybe war had already taken his sanity and replaced it with something that looked like love. He stepped in front of her, blocking the barrels aimed her way. "You'll have to shoot through me first." Outside, lightning split the sky. The soldiers hesitated. For a heartbeat, no one moved. Then a gun fired. The sound ripped through the trading post, followed by another and another. When the smoke cleared, 2 soldiers were down. The captain lay bleeding near the door. Thomas's arm dripped red, but he still stood, breathing hard. Revolver smoking in his hand, Noya ran to him, pressing her hands against his wound. "Why did you do this?" she cried. He looked at her with fading eyes. because for the first time, I did something right. The rain poured harder now, washing the blood into the dirt. The thunder rolled again, and somewhere in the storm, a hawk cried out over the desert. That night, they rode into the darkness together, one wounded soldier, one Apache girl, both fugitives of a war that neither started, and neither could win. But in the echo of gunfire and rain, something sacred had been born, something no bullet could kill.